Welcome back to the show. Check out these headlines we have for you, ladies and gentlemen. Facebook doing us dirty again out here. We're going to fill you in. XRP Ledger hits a massive milestone. BRICS and BRICS Summit is in the news. You're going to want to know about it. China and Ripple partner news. You're going to love this. Franklin Templeton, you're going to like it. Mastercard endorses Ripple. Stuart Alderoty's in the news, and he's getting good on social media. You're going to want that and so much more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, it is $2.62 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off by 5.4%. Everything's bleeding pretty heavy out here today. 65,800 plus for Bitcoin, 3,200 plus for Ethereum. Tether market cap 104.2 billion plus. XRP at the number 7 spots, 58 cents, off by 2.3 in the 24 and off by 7.3 on the 7-day. Looking at the range of price, we're ranging between 58 and 62 cents. So we're not at the bottom, but we're not at the top. So we're going to keep an eye on it. What I do want to keep an eye on is making sure you're well aware. Hard assets. Listen, I have a great appetite for risk, but I also love being able to hedge that risk by putting some real hard assets in my portfolio. And I do that with Miles Franklin Precious Metal Invest. Not to mention the geopolitical events that are happening around the world are saying to me, gold is a great thing to own. Metals are a great thing to own. And they have all kinds of different precious metals investments for you, whether you like bars, whether you like gold coins, they have it. Platinum, palladium, silver, gold. All you need to do is email. Well, you can go to the information underneath the video or just simply email info@milesfranklin.com. But the important part is to put DigGold in the subject box to make sure you get the best prices possible. Let's get started right now. Well, here we go. Zuckerberg's done it again. Facebook sells all its users' private messages to Netflix for $100 million. Jesus, Mark. I mean, this guy, just zero integrity happening all the way around with this guy, right? Good gracious. Meanwhile, XRP Ledger hits a historic milestone. They did not sell any of your information like Facebook. In fact, they're hitting a milestone of celebrating 87 million ledgers. How about that? Without error. Take some of that, ladies and gentlemen. Love that. Love that. And here we see that on the geopolitical stage, we have been covering BRICS heavily. And the concern is exactly what it should be. We know, let me just show you this here, the BRICS Summit that's up and coming is going to be introducing and talking very heavily about the expansion and introduction of a new currency, let alone a new payment platform that they already have built. And this is all because BRICS coalition and the countries joining and the ones that are a part of it intend to ditch the US dollar for trade as much as they're able to. This will cause the U.S. dollar to return to the homeland, leading to hyperinflation in America. This is one of the many topics I will be on stage in a fireside chat talking with Christopher Giancarlo. I'm telling you something, the former head of the CFTC, co-founder of the Digital Dollar Project. This is going to be a very, very important conversation. Look, the theme of the conference is a new era of finance. And we are moving into the greatest financial paradigm shift in the history of mankind. Make no mistake about it. And that is the theme of this conference. And it is going to be very meaningful for you to be there to find out what's going to be covered on stage. There's no question. Now, looking at this BRICS announcement and plans coming up in the announcement here, we know that Russia and Brazil are prepping big announcement for their BRICS summit, and that's October of this year in Kazan. The summit will explore major topics like de-dollarization, expansion, and a new currency introduction. Brazil, by the way, is also going to be hosting the G20 summit in Rio just 1 month later, November 24 as well. We'll also feature key discussions with BRICS members. So that's the plan. And we know that we better be figuring something out. And China's figuring something out as China Bank expands RippleNet partners with D-Money. And all of this continues to broaden its global remittance ties up between Filipinos anywhere in the world, connecting via the RippleNet platform. The bank partnered with D-Money, Thailand's leading fintech money service business, to facilitate fast and convenient remittance from Thailand to the Philippines. RippleNet is a globally recognized cross-border payment solution using blockchain technology. Aside from D-Money, China Bank's remittance partnership with Qatar Bank, National Bank, QNB, the largest financial institution within the Middle East and Africa, and mobile money in Malaysia are also on board via RippleNet. That's where we're going. And Franklin Templeton's going to tell you about where they think things are going too. Take a listen to this clip.
When people think about the future, they think, well, I need to build this capability and I need to do it as part of either a private chain or a permissioned chain so that I can control the data and I can control the ability to access and participate in the system. And let's be real, to also hold some of our edge because we don't want to be disintermediated.
There it is.
But I think what the missing understanding is that you are building a system that is going to be highly vulnerable if you go into these permissioned pools or into these private blockchains, because the number of developers that you have working on your security model, the number of nodes that you have actually doing verification is going to be far, 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 far fewer than any public blockchain, even new and beginning public blockchains. And those public blockchains are going to have higher levels of security than any private offering being built by anyone in the industry, simply because there's thousands upon thousands of developers that are constantly testing the security of these protocols, right? So I think that there's a fundamental misunderstanding that private somehow equals safer. And I think that we will see that understanding begin to change as more people build in the space. And I think what will also happen, as Sergey said, is that all these private chains are eventually going to have to connect into the public records because there will be one major set of records for everything in the industry. What Sergey said is exactly right. We are going to have a master golden copy of contracts that will pull together all these sources of liquidity. And competing in a private chain is going to result, as I think Sergey pointed out, the liquidity of private chains is going to shrink and shrink and shrink as people begin to understand that these public chains offer better optionalities and better security, and they actually reward you for participating in their ecosystem. So,
there's a very good point that she's making in this, and I just want to highlight, and the thing I believe will really kick open the use of public blockchains, clarity, regulatory clarity. Right? Because we saw what happened with the Citizen Hinman rule. Remember that? Yeah. Remember when Citizen Hinman at the SEC, the head of corporate finance, decided to overlook the initial coin offering of Ethereum and give them a free pass while letting the rest of the industry sit in the gutter, allowing for a token assembly line to be launched off of that network in the tune of billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars? That same effect will happen for the whole industry when we actually get legitimate regulatory legislative clarity instead of some jerry-rigged free pass from some Citizen Hinman, right, that the SEC has been trying to awkwardly distance itself from ever since it went down. Disgusting. This is a reminder, just while we're looking at the everything else exploding, let's not forget about Mastercard endorsing Ripple for global remittances. Yeah, that happened. Financial services giant Mastercard has given a significant nod to Ripple, a crypto-focused company, in recent reporting exploring future remittances in Latin America. Yeah, we love it. It highlights the challenges of traditional remittance services and recognizes Ripple's blockchain technology as a potential solution. Yeah, we know it is. All right, let's change gear from the payments and everything world, and let's get to it here. This is Stuart Alderoty, the Chief Legal Officer from Ripple, who's getting very good on social media, I tell you. Last week, he decides to take on Coinbase here and the SEC's definitions. Last week, Coinbase's decision has 4 different confusing definitions of what constitutes a crypto ecosystem. Now, you can relax. I'm not going to read them all, but they're right here. And you know that they're all contradicting views, right? He says, if this sounds like legal gibberish, it is. According to the SEC, whenever you acquire a token, you are always investing in an amorphous ecosystem regardless of why, how, or where you acquire it. Gee whiz. He says, once Judge Torres in the Ripple case, Ivy League educated with Bronx street sense, looked into the full evidentiary record, she understood that the SEC had strayed from Howey, where a promoter made promises directly to investors about a clearly defined enterprise. This is what we're dealing with. But hold on a minute. He goes on to talk about 7 years after the Dow report. Everybody in this space long enough remembers the Dow hack and everything that went on there, which the SEC claims provided clarity to crypto. The SEC is still litigating 8 major crypto cases in federal courts with no end in sight. Something is broken. He says still litigating 8 major cases. Now, maybe I'm on a thin limb. I'm not saying that this is the case, but Ashley Prosper says, by my count, the SEC is still litigating 9 major cases. Ripple versus SEC, Coinbase versus SEC, Binance versus SEC, Kraken versus SEC, Dragon Chain, Legilex and CFAT, Richard Hart, Terraform, Tron. So which of these cases is Stuart not counting? Maybe Terraform Labs, as the SEC was granted summary judgment, unregistered offers and sales of Luna and MIR. But this could be appealed, so I wonder if Stuart Alderoty considers it over. If he doesn't, then you're left to wonder, is it a Freudian slip? Did he acknowledge that maybe the Ripple case is over? I don't know. You know, it could be a simple oversight. Right? Misspeak kind of thing, you know. Oh, I forgot about that case, right? But something to think about. Let me know if you know what that show's that phrase is from, what show, and what character from that show. I said something to think about. It's a fun show around here for all of us. Crypto Insight UK here. I have recently been mocked for my thoughts on XRP versus Bitcoin. However, so far throughout this whole flush down in crypto versus Bitcoin holds strong, XRP versus Bitcoin holds strong, failing to set a new low and ranging for 37 days whilst XRP FUD hits a maximum. This is absolutely true. He shows that it may look like we're hitting like a bottom here, right? So we could be bottoming out, and this is XRP versus Bitcoin chart, as he said. I've been looking for a higher low and would suggest we are basing here. Could we wick into the launch pad? Maybe, however, some bullish PA and our weekly RSI turns bullish. I expect Bitcoin comes back firing. It'll be time to shine for XRP. You can see what he's talking about here with the launch pad. Could we wick down into this area? Again, XRP versus Bitcoin chart. You know, or do we take off right from the top of the launch pad, or we go dip down into it like we previously did? We don't know. These are all things to pay attention to. With that being said, XRP versus Bitcoin on the daily is putting in a large bullish divergence. As you can see, regular divergence and hidden divergence. You can see it really kind of lines up here with what you're seeing here. And you can also see the RSI is looking like set up for a push up too, potentially, right? None of us know exactly what will happen, but I love checking it all out and seeing it. Look, that's going to do it for us. We're going into the Freedom Zone, ladies and gentlemen. And today we are going to tackle the medical tyranny that has taken place over the last several years. And we're going to take a look underneath the hood of that. And I think you would be wise and certainly benefit from doing so with us. It's not financial advice from me or anyone else. Go to digperspectives.com and click on the Freedom Zone and join us for next to nothing. Help support the channel and get that extra content, or just get the videos you'd like to view every day from YouTube with 0 Google ads and full access to a private Telegram group. I hope you'll join us in the Freedom Zone. Come on in. All right.